It's Thursday and it's my first video for the week. It's been an interesting week, to say the least, but it's good. It's very good. I will wait to see if anybody joins so they can catch the start of the video. But I hope everyone's having a good week so far. Nearly at the weekend. It's meant to be the weather's meant to be much nicer. If you're here in the UK, it's very windy today. But hey, we need balance, so it's all good. Just on my way to work. Have an event today, which is like late afternoon, evening. Hoping that the weather holds out, but we shall see. So from my previous reel, not the one that I've just posted, so one before the latest one, I shared a visual of a parasite that I've released, and there's always skepticism from people that have an awareness of what it might be or what it looks like. How do you get it? How do you release it? Some people have never come across such things before. Maybe some people think they're so clean that because I've never seen that. I'm here just to share, put a little light on the topic of parasites, mucoid plaque, and excessive mucus. So we live in a world, and as I've mentioned before, we come here and the very start of life may consist of either mother's milk or formula milk, which is most of the time compromised of dairy, and that then starts the automated response in the body. As for me, although I have been a dairy consumer, I am now aware that dairy isn't something we should necessarily be consuming, but everyone will have their own perception on that. And my whole experience, perception and understanding, definitely from experience, is that when you have dairy products, you'll then start to may start coughing a lot. Your body then starts to throw out this signal of, hey, we need to protect ourselves here. So your body will start to produce mucus. Now, mucus isn't a bad thing, it's there to protect you, but the problem is when you keep overriding your body with things that it's not wanting to consume, then this automated response happens. You know, you may come across a lot of people that are always coughing. You can always hear the phlegm, you know. Even people maybe so backed up, and you can actually hear it in their speech. They almost sound congested quite often. So that's just one example of excessive mucus. You know, there's a lot of mucus forming foods, even raw plant-based foods that are mucus forming. The debatable one would be avocados. Now, I love avocados, but I haven't had avocados for a while, and one thing I've realized is the more cleaner I get, not only the more sensitive I become to foods that maybe I've once been fine with, but my body's just like throwing out these signals like, hey, no, like absolutely no. And the one common sign of me knowing that I'm eating something that I'm not probably meant to be eating, me personally not meant to be eating, I can't speak for everybody, but me, is that I will start to sweat very, very soon after the food that I've eaten. Oftentimes I may wake up blocked up, like my ears have been starting to get blocked up, but recently I know that's just because I'm not only taking the herbs that I need to be taking to, like, for my little parasite protocol, but I know that things are what's the word, becoming more liquefied, that's the word, because you can have like mucus in your body that's like solidified, and then when you start breaking things up, that's when it starts to become a lot more fluid and it just wants to eliminate. So I've been having a lot of mucus in my system, which has been like, I know it's just the backup of mucus from some of the foods that I've been eating. But just to go back, so like I spoke about the dairy products, you know, just cooked food in general, whether it's, you know, your standard cooked food like your meats and all that sort of stuff, or even cooked plant-based meals as well. This can become a problem because it's almost like foreign chemistry to your body, and although we've adapted over the years, it doesn't take away from your original blueprint. Now, one thing I will say, everything that I'm saying is just from my experience, so I can't speak on everybody else's experience, but from somebody that's come from a standard diet to transitioning through various stages, I genuinely do believe that I can speak on this from my own personal experience. So a lot of the things I may be talking about, you probably haven't, maybe not experienced. Maybe you've never done a detox before, maybe you've done a detox which has like been a few days or maybe up to a week, but the detoxes that I've been doing have been a little longer than that. And when you go a little bit longer, you're able to go a little bit deeper, and then that's when you then start seeing some of the stuff that I've posted. And this isn't just new news, you may have come across many other people that have shared similar things. So yeah, it's just when you get deep enough, you know, not everyone's called to go on these longer detoxes or fasts, or, you know, wanting to dive deeper into these things. I genuinely have an interest, almost a passion in experimenting, and I've realized that intuitively I just unlock these, like this, unlock this not hidden, but this pool of information that I believe we all have access to once we choose the right keys, I suppose. So yeah, that's that. Where was I going? So yeah, another thing I wanted to talk about is parasites. Now, from my experience, I genuinely believe that parasites are created, born, are manifested from the lifestyle that we live, from the food consumption and, you know, the consumption of food and drinks. A lot of the foods that we eat may have already been infested with parasites, and, you know, they then become a part of you. They then, you know, because they're a whole entity within itself. Now, it probably seems so far-fetched, and like, what do you mean, like a whole entity? Like, yes, they have a consciousness, yes, they're able to eat, yes, they're able to puke, yes, they're able to reproduce. Now, when you know, I see it on a day-to-day only because I've seen what they look like. I know how I felt when I've eliminated them. I know how I felt when I've killed them. I've seen them, I've shared them, and it's a real thing, man. They will control the way you see, your perception on things, the way you feel 100%. And the feel thing, I think, is more can be more acknowledged, in a sense of, if, for example, you know that if you eat this particular food that you may be craving isn't what you really want to be having before the craving came about, then what is it that's driving you towards that? Yes, one may say, you know, you may be addicted to that thing or whatever, but, or it may be an emotional response. But what I will say is, they need to be fed, and these foods are the very foods that keep them thriving, growing, and being able to reproduce. You know, if you know, sometimes you may have this response of like the hungry response in regarding like feeling a particular way, like if you don't have the food, like you feel very, very irritable. This is the reason. And you know, people will have their own opinions on why they may feel a particular way, and sometimes, you know, if you're not exposed to another way of seeing something, or you just know one particular way, or you've been brought up knowing that something is a particular way, and that information that you gathered was from, you know, reputable sources or family in general, then I can see how believing that would seem so far-fetched. You know, well, I'm here to yeah, just give you another alternative opinion, because an opinion's an opinion to someone that he doesn't align with, I suppose. So yeah, they will control you, and you'll find, if you ever called to do any sort of a fast, detox, cleanse, that sometimes you may feel a particular way when you're doing these things, and then very, very soon after, in such a short space of time, once you've had some sort of an elimination, the thoughts, the feelings disappear. Trust me, for those that have experienced this, you know, you definitely know. Trust me, I lived a particular lifestyle before, and a lifestyle of, you know, food consumption and varieties of different foods, very, very far on the opposite side of the line to what I consume now. My whole perception, reality, feelings, my sight, everything was completely different until I fasted, cleaned myself up a little bit, things become a lot clearer. Everything is clearer when you're cleaner, I'm telling you, 100%. And like I said before, not everyone's gonna have this experience, maybe not in this lifetime anyway. And the other thing was the mucoid plaque. You may, if you're new to this sort of stuff of eliminations, you may come across, it was a very hot topic a few years ago, of mucoid plaque, and I believe everything comes around in cycles, and I'm sure it will come around again. Mucoid plaque is long, stringy, mucus, parasite, parasitic, waste accumulation. It's very rubbery, you know, this thing. there's a whole lot of things in this thing, and once you start diving deep, you will then start to climb the ladder of awareness. And isn't it funny to those that this may align to, that the deeper you go, the higher you climb. The higher you climb, the higher you climb, in a sense of the higher awareness, higher frequency. Then you start to climb the ladder of unlocking and blocking these chakras. That's also a very hot topic. A lot of people may think that you need to do meditation, do yoga, and eat these particular foods to climb this ladder, but honestly I think it's a natural byproduct of fasting. I could go one step further and say fasting gives you the ability to almost heal all, but that could be subjective. But I want to go that far in saying that. Maybe wild statement, but that's what my intuition tells me. And when I say fasting, I don't mean even juice fasting, or these are just stepping stones to fasting, in a sense of the consumption of nothing. No water, no food, nothing, no herbs. But you can play on this. You can play with the whole fasting, cleansing, detoxing thing when you start to experiment with loads of different things. You may come across information from myself, but believe nothing, I say. Believe nothing until you have your own experiences. You can take the ideas, take the ideas of the things I've possibly done or said, but always try yourself, experiment yourself if this is of any interest. If you're trying to heal, whether it's on a physical level or a mental level, this is the way to go. I'm telling you, it's not a quick fix. You will start to experience changes. Everyone will experience them in different ways, at different lengths of times, but you will. That's something I definitely know. My thing is about lifestyle change as opposed to a periodic time of doing a particular thing, like making healthy changes so it's sustainable and enjoyable, I suppose. So yeah, on my story, I understand that when you've probably seen this video, the story would have gone, but I'll probably do reminders from time to time. There's an image on there, and maybe I'll use the image for this yet to be real, so that you can see the image that I'm on about. But when you see the image is going to be, I guess you're going to have to watch the video to understand what the image is all about. But when you watch this video and you've seen the image that's on this video, I'll put it at the beginning as a photo. If you scroll all the way down my posts and you have an interest in seeing what stuff is most likely lurking inside of you, then yeah, look at the picture and you'll identify other pictures when you scroll down, and you'll see exactly the stuff that I've been eliminating and the information that I've put underneath each post. There's a lot there. I think there's probably over 20 pictures and videos of the things that I've eliminated, and each time I've eliminated, there's always been, a deeper realization. And I've come across and I'm sorry, I've come across people that may not believe that they have anything in them, you know, because they're eating a raw plant-based diet. They do so many detox and fasts and all this sort of stuff, but trust me, there is levels to this. And I think I'm not really I'd say that I'm not really I have no goal or necessarily desire to try and clean everything out of my system, because that is not the goal. Like this is a lifetime probably thing, and but you can definitely get a hold on top of like everything. So I think it's just about yeah, acknowledging that, you know, you've probably lived a certain lifestyle, and whether you've eaten a particular way for 10 years, you know, it's not going to take you 1 week, 1 day, 1 month, 1 year to clean everything out. It has to be a process, and it's going to take some time depending on what you're doing, for sure. So once you've acknowledged that and you realize that there's a cause and effect, and yes, you may be able to clean yourself up a lot faster by doing these sorts of things, but just know that if it's taking you 10 years to do something, and 10 years of accumulation, it's not going to take you 1 day, it's not going to take you 1 week, and it's not going to take you 1 month to get everything out. Like you have to eradicate that whole mindset. You have to, otherwise you're going to be disheartened. Otherwise, yeah, you're not going to get very far, to be honest with you. Yeah, I think ego must be dropped, has to be dropped. Otherwise it's going to be a long journey, I'm telling you now. You know, no one's better than anybody. You know, everyone's on their own journey, everyone's had their own experiences. But yeah, don't be yeah, drop the ego. Don't think you're ever too good or, you know, better than the people that you may be around just because you're doing a particular thing. I would say I'm very embracive, especially with the people I'm around. 1, I don't judge. 2, I'm very understanding. I would say I'm very understanding. And I think I'm at a point now where no one's necessarily, I can't speak for people, but I don't think they're trying to prove themselves to me, unless they've just like they've just come in contact with me, and they may have heard about what I'm doing, or, you know, if I'm bringing food with me to somewhere. But even then, I don't even bring my food out anymore. I like to eat in my own environment where the energy feels right and it's peaceful and it's not rushed. It's a whole ritualistic thing for me, which I very much enjoy. But yeah, I understand everyone's on their own journey, and they're where they need to be, exactly where they need to be at present. So yeah, humble yourself and embrace your lifestyle. Be open-minded, be patient, drop the ego, be aware, and be accountable. And trust me, you'll see the changes, you'll see the growth. So yeah, remember, if you're interested in seeing more of what I've posted, or parasites and stuff, yes, you can probably reach out to me. But if I don't see that, remember to check the image that's going to be on this reel. And yeah, check the image that's going to be on the reel. Actually, I don't know if the image is going to be on the reel, but if you message me, I will show you the picture, or ask me for the picture in the comments. If you drop in the comments, send picture, I'll send you the picture, and then you can do your own little research on the previous posts that I've done regarding parasites, mucoid plaque, and excessive mucus. And yeah, it's a journey. I'm telling you, it's a journey, but it's an enjoyable journey as long as your cleansing reactions are probably not so intense. But yeah, you're not gonna die. I'll say that you're not gonna die. You know, maybe work with someone that's got experience in detoxing. Sometimes it's best probably not to go in blind. I think I went in pretty blind, and I've learned a lot along the way. I was just blessed in that way, and maybe you will be too. But yeah, I think that's it. I think we've come to the end of the line on this video, but I will share more in due time. Enjoy the rest of the day.